Good morning, traders. Welcome to the daily webinar. We will be putting this out on YouTube as the weekly outlook. For my YouTube viewers, I hope you enjoy it. I hope it helps you. And if you would like to know more about what I do, because I just got contact from one trader who couldn't find what I do, although he looked at my videos, send me a Skype message. This is the only way you will get to contact me. Don't search for my website. Don't go to any other place. Just send me a Skype message if you're interested in what I do and you would like to join us. So let me type that here. It's MANGAL 457. It's always in the description, right? Now, I don't like to talk a lot about this, but I got a message with somebody this morning from a friend. I don't know who is the friend. It didn't say the friend who is with me in the group trading with us, and actually recommend them to take a look at it. Thanks to that friend for that. Yeah. So if you're interested, send me a Skype message and you'll get all the details how you can join our group. Right? That's it. Let's move on. So what we're going to look at last week, we were expecting this to actually break out, right? It started consolidating here, which means we didn't get in the trade, but then it came back to the bottom. No big deal. We immediately would assume that it's making another flat, right? So we can look at this as 1, 2, 3. This could either be a correction of a contracting flat of its own. That's one option. I don't like contracting flats, so we will not assume that, but we will assume that this still would eventually go back up for this one, right? So if you look at that, we don't have anything for this sharp one. And I don't think it's this one. So we're just making a bigger correction here. So at some point, this is going to go back up. Now I'll assume two opportunities. One is come here, make a flat, and then come back down again, and then go back up. That possibility exists. So we could be in this consolidation much longer. I'm not putting this as the flat because this one is too corrective. So for now, we're going to stay with this structure. And you can actually put it like this because we haven't got that. You can put it like this because we're still actually trading in this range, right? Leave this here. We're trading in this range. We haven't got that as yet. We're just still trying to get this one. It's making a correction here. We can assume that this is going to go break out, right? So there's a small flag here, very small one that should come back here. I don't think this selling is important because even if you sell it, it will just break the low. But what we can do is we can look for this trade up. Now, if you're lucky, it becomes this one, right? If this is a contracting flat, then it will actually be this one. It will be a bigger move up. But this trade, if it's only this one, and this is a correction here, then this becomes a manageable trade. So that's something we can actually take. That is a trade we can actually take. So we will see how that goes, right? This could be a short trade or it could be a trade that comes to the top here. It's not going to break out of this structure because we still have, there's a lot more. Even if it comes here, it still has to come back down for this one and then go back up. There's a very, very rare chance it's going to take, especially since this is a correction, right? That's not the end of it. The next thing we can probably look at is whether we want to take this to be a contracting flat. This one here, right? This piece with a 1, a 2, and a 3. Now, if that's a contracting flat, this shouldn't probably go like that. This should probably be an impulse down and then a reversal. So I'm excluding that possibility for now. Go for a short buy and then we'll see where that takes us. From there, we can manage the trade, right? So let's go. Silver came down. We were selling silver. I think we would have moved this entry up because when we put that entry, we were just at the top here. It actually went up higher. So if you were focused on it and it went up higher, this entry should have gone here, right? Because it went higher. So you go with this. This actually worked well. This is what I'm saying, right? So you get a 1, you get a 2, you get a 3. It went to the top there. We got ourselves a running flat. And that's why we were selling it. It dropped, it pulled back, it dropped again. And now we're in this. We're still here, right? So this drop, it looks very corrective. It looks more like this one. I'll take this off because I don't think it's this. I think this looks like a correction of its own, a bigger correction like this. So that's more upside as we expected. Right? We're expecting this to go up more. Remember, the dollar index upside is short-lived. It's still more downside, right? So that small move up, once that's finished, it's going to go down. That could mean some consolidation here or even a pullback. But basically, this has more to go upwards. And we still haven't got this, right? So we're looking at this as a up move, correction, up move, correction, up move again. which means look for buy setups. I could see them consolidating here more, and maybe even retesting the low, right? It's consolidating here. It could probably consolidate more here. Maybe even, come back, retest this low, and then go. But this sell here might not be a good idea. So right now, I think we should be looking for the buy. Right, there's a good chance we'll get a buy setup. I would keep focused on this consolidation, but you want it to pull back. You want this little consolidation to pull back here a little. That would be an easier way to put the insurer above the top. Now there's a 5-minute flag here, but 5 minutes flag are not very reliable. There's this one, 1, 2, 3. If you want to take the 5-minute flag, right? See this little one? You have to keep a stop under this low. By all means, right? Because if you think this is gonna this 5 minutes could become a 15 minutes flag. And that would be a better deal. So you don't want it to tag you here and then start dropping. If you're gonna put the insured above this, you have to put the insured slightly above, so that if it just, if it comes lower, then you can bring it closer to the spot. So you can assume that this is gonna go, but the 5 minute flag, like I said, it could finish really fast. It doesn't have to even go anywhere. So better if this comes here and then you get a proper flag. You can put an insured here and then you go for this. But if you're going for the 5 minutes flag, you can do that now. Again, if this comes deeper, you know the rules, right? Don't trade it up. So we're looking for a buy setup here. Gold. So go back to the 50 minutes. Gold also is a consolidation. We got a running flat. It may or may not break the low. We need to break this low. So there's a good chance gold could still go lower. Let's see what the bigger picture looks like. Yeah, it's more of a consolidation. You have a lot of divergence at the top, but it still looks like a consolidation. You're getting a pullback here. You drop, pull back, drop, pull back. See, I don't think that is a flat. I would have gone with that, but this is too small. You got a sharp drop, you got a sharp pullback. I think these two make sense for a running flat, right? Now this might drop a little more. I wouldn't be surprised. And then we look for the buy setup. Can we sell it or should we even sell it? Let's go to the 5 minutes. I don't think you want to sell it this yet because this piece here, if it stays in consolidation here, would probably do this and then drop. So if silver is to go up this much, right, then start pulling back, you will be able to close the trade as well. Right, you should get a chance of it because this looks like it needs to break this low. Not necessarily, but it looks like they make an attempt to consolidate and break the low. I wouldn't buy this as yet, and it's not a good sell setup. It will become a good sell setup if this works its way down here and then go back. Then you can try to sell this. So we'll have to wait some more on this. Eventually it's going up, right? Eventually the sell might just break this. So eventually it's going up. If it works its way more up here, if it kind of, stay here and work more upside, and you get a sell set up here, that would be a good idea. Because by the time it breaks this low, you can get yourself into break even or profit. So just wait on this a little more. Big picture upside. Euro. Yeah, we should come down, and this might be coming down already. You can make an argument that's enough of a correction. So we bought the euro. Remember, this was the buy here to break the top. It broke the top, it reversed. That gives you a good trade. Now we're looking for the sell. I wouldn't put it here. I'll probably put it under this one. That's a 15-minute flag. Let's say that's a 5 minutes flag. Yeah, but that's good enough. Because if this drop, it's breaking the low. Right? And if it breaks the low, we'll see where that takes us. We're going to go with this. We're coming for this one. Right? This becomes this flat. This here becomes this flat. Right? The 1, 2, 3. And we're coming down for this move. This is the move we're expecting, right? This one. So it's going to be shorter. It's going to be something like this. That's most likely we're expecting. Then it's going to go one more up. Again, we haven't got this. This was the original one we're looking for, but we don't have that. We have another flat like this. So you have an up move. You have a flat. You have an up move, right? You're going to get a flat here. And then you get another up move. Right? This would be the flat. Very similar to this. You're not going to get a big drop. It's already half the way, so you're only going to get a drop like this. You can put a stop here, you can put an entry here, and you can go for this trade. Right? Now you're trading still within the correction. And although we broke out of this, like a 1, 2, 3, this is still within the correction. Don't go exactly at the bottom. You know that you don't want it to tag you and go back. But should this actually work its way up, take it out because it's going to do this. This will become a flat and it'll go one more up. Now this sell would be a perfect one. That sell would be a better one. Right? So let's see if this drops. It's a short trade. It's a very short sell. I just don't need to come here. And then you'll be looking upside. So we can put that as a sell setup for the first trade, and then we'll go for the buy after that, right? So if you're watching this on YouTube and you're wondering what all these trades are about, these are very short trades. So by the time you see this video, this move might have completed itself and it might have started the up move already. Right? And the up move would be something equivalent to this or to this. And then it will come back down, right? So don't get too anxious when you see all of that happen and said, well, this guy has no idea what he's doing, right? He told us it's going to go down, then he said it's going to go up and all of that. So if you're getting difficulty understanding all these moves and wave analysis, spend some more time watching the videos I do, because the market doesn't move in a straight line. So you have to learn to take advantage of all the little moves within it, because that's all you're going to get most of the time. 80% of the time, the market is just in consolidation. The 20% time is one fast move that happened really quick. You missed it, and then you're waiting for the next fast move. While you're doing that, you can trade the lower degrees with it. Right? So if you can do that, then it just makes your life easier. Okay. One second. Sorry about that. I had to take a sip of water. Yeah. So my voice is going now. Let's go. Dollar. One second, guys. I don't know what's happened to. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. So the dollar pound is coming down. I don't think we want to sell this. We bought this also on Friday for the up move. And well, we actually thought it would break this up, but remember what I said, if it pulls back, go back, close the trade, right? So I think we're doing it in the 1 minute. So I think a lot of you close the trade very quick. So you shouldn't keep it. Even if you keep it out, you should have closed it here. But even if you kept it all the way here, and it goes back up, you know you have to close it. So that's a positive trade. Let's go here. We're in this now. This is a sharp move that didn't break the top. And this is coming down. I don't think the sell is a good idea. Right? This one will likely drop. It might, do some more of this, but it's only going to drop to break this low and go back up, because we haven't got anything for this. And I don't think we're looking at this as some kind of a contracting flat. We're trying to break the top. We're not looking for a contracting flat. So right now we have this as the running flat. But if this consolidates quite a lot here, we might go with a separate flat of its own here, depending if it comes back to this low. So for now, you want this to probably work its way here, come back, go back up, come back here, do this, and then we look for the buy. Now, do we get a buy in here? If we do, we'll take the trade just like this one. If you get a sell here, you take the trade. And if you get a buy here, you take the trade. The range is huge, right? It's a tradable range. That's why we took this trade, because the range is tradable. So you within this range, I think it's about 60 pips, 70 pips. So within that 70 pips, you could probably get 1 or 2 more small trades if you get the setup, only if you get the setup. I think it's pretty important you understand that. If there's no setup, let it go without you. And then we will look for the one more up before it goes. So it's probably going to break this top before the big move starts to the downside. So I'm not going to put anything, because both ways you could trade it. Don't take this now. It's close to the low. You know the rules. If it's close to the low, leave it. Aussie. Aussie, they broke the top once. It broke the top twice. We're waiting for that downside, but we haven't got any traders yet. It looks like it might consolidate and give us one more up. We don't have any trade set up. The only way we get a trade set up here is if this actually comes back here. I don't know, something like this, and then decide to go back up. We can find a trade somewhere in here. For now, we leave it because these two are the same, but we can't sell it either. You're not expecting it to drop very low. And this, I don't think this is all because we didn't break the top. So leave that alone. The bigger picture, by the way, for the entire week and for the YouTube videos, the bigger picture of Aussie would be downside, right? So we're expecting this to drop at any time. It's the daily. I don't think we're coming to tag that up, but should it make a flat here, we'll assume it's going higher and we'll take every trade we get. New Zealand, same here. Check this out. That's an old one. Same here. It's kind of going up. I think we've got the running flat for New Zealand. We can clearly put this as the running flat. This is the 4 hour. Let me go back to the 1 hour. But you can see the clear running flat. I think we can make an argument that that's a running flat. Because this one is going higher. Right? I thought this would drop. This was starting to make a flag here. And I thought it would drop. But now we know that would become a flat and one more up. And if that happens, then we'll put this running flat. So this is going to make a flat here just like this did. So you're going to 15. And we were trying to sell this. I think this would have been a good sell. But that didn't drop. It went up to the top. So what you want is you want to pull back. You want this to pull back here. And then give us a buy setup. I think we can take it from here or from here if we get a small flag, because that should give you a trade to the upside. New Zealand is about to break this top, and that's the week. That's this. I think not about to. I think we broke it already. We broke that top already. So be careful. Any buy there is kind of that is this move already. I think we're going to put this as the only correction, and we're expecting this to drop anytime. Now you still have this as an open one, which means there's still a possibility for this to happen, for it to come back here and then go back and then drop. But all sell setups will get. If we start getting sell setups there, we'll take it. We don't have any sell setup right now. And I don't think this one is going to start to drop. It went back to the top. This is a small flag, and you want the bigger one. You want this big one. So buys are pretty careful with the buys. Most likely look for sells. CAD. Okay, CAD went up some more. Nothing new, that's expected. We're expecting this to go up, and now we can start to look for the sell setup. All right, let's go back here. It did break this low, so the question is how low I think it's going to go. We're assuming that these two would be equal. Or what if they're not equal? Can it just be 1, 2, 3 and go? Can we put these two together now like this as a possible running flat? I think that's possible. Although I like it to drop some more. Right? We would like this to drop a lot more, and then that would make a better running flat. But this fits a running flat. Go back to the 50 minutes. Let's see. If we get buy setups here, we can take it, right? If this stays here and give us a buy setup, which is what is happening right now, we can look for an up trade. Take one up trade, and let's see if that would be all for the running flat. So you let it come here, break this low, and then put an entry over here to see if you get this. Now, if it just breaks this top and start to come back, close this trade. Your entry would be here, close this trade, or move the stop from here to there. Once it breaks it up and tag it. Right, so we're gonna see that if if either it's making consolidation, just break the top and start to go down, we'll look for the sell. Or it just breaks the top, consolidate, go again, or it breaks the top and just go. If that is all the running flat is gonna go, but we wouldn't know that, right? So we'll wait and see. But this is a buy setup. You're actually getting a good buy setup. Swiss. Okay, Swiss came back to the bottom. And we still haven't got this one. So if you take this out and you put all of this in the correction, I think we'll have to go with this as a 1, 2, 3. We kind of tagged the top there. It kind of tagged the top, so you can put it like this. You can put it like this. So now you've got 1, You've got 2, you're getting 3. It will probably just break this low, one more drop, break that low, or don't break the low, make a running flat, and then you'll expect this up move. So I still expect this to go back up. This is still a consolidation. What we're gonna do is we're gonna watch this. This looks like it's gonna drop first. Short term looks downside. I wouldn't be surprised about that. So the next trade should be this, and then expect that to go back up. Now, if you take this sell, you just have to manage it, right? Because it's not a big trade. It may or may not break this low. We don't have to break that low. We break the low if it's a running flat. So if you're selling this, you have to sell it with the intention that when it drops like this, remember we were selling this one because this one was coming to break this low, but we were at the low now. So when this drop is probably just going to do this. This sell might not be a good trade. Let it break. If there's a contracting flat in here we're missing, let it break this low and consolidate. That would confirm that there was a contracting flat there. I don't think we're missing anything. So we ignore this, let it drop, and then we look for the reversal back to the top. Yen. Okay. So we were expecting it to go back as a running flat from this point. From here, it actually dropped a little more and it went back like this. Do we take that to be the running flat? I think that's a bad idea. I think this one fits more for the running. Sorry, guys, my throat is giving some issues. My apologies. So we can take this more as the running flat. I think that fits. If this is your running flat, you should be in the sell already. This sell could probably work. We could wait for any other flag and go with the sell. If after every pullback like this, you try to sell it, it makes sense, right? Because you remember if you match this with a running flat and you try to sell this one here on the 5 minutes, not a bad idea. If you sell that or sell this, you close it, right? The ranges here are pretty huge, right? So from here to here, it's already 42 pips. That's enough for you to close the trade, right? When it starts consolidating here. Now, the stop should have been here or the stop should have been here. So it's there and it's coming down. Do we have any good sell setup? I think the best sell setup we would have got, not this one. You could go with an expanding flat there, but not that one. This one should be this here. I'll probably put this as a running flat. I'll put this as another running flat and sell this. That would make sense. These two are sharp. So if it's making another running flat here, it's going to come here, go back up there. If your stop is here or stop is here, you're still good, right? For downside. So wait for any flag and sell. Remember, you're going to take this under 5 minutes because it's pretty thick. That size of correction is okay. That's a 1 hour running flat. So more downside. I expect this to go down a lot more. So the downside we were expecting is this to come from here to there, right? We're looking at the bigger picture. This is the daily. This is what we're looking at. So we need to exclude this possibility. If it's going to go lower, we need to let it drop and make a bigger correction. But at this point, we're just trying to get this trade from here to here, which is a lot of pips. It's about 5 or 6 trades you're going to get. Right? So let's see if we can get that to match this, and then we're going to see where that goes. Go back to the 15. And the range is pretty huge, so you could trade it nice. I think by the time it gets to where we want it to go, which is about 136, and it's at 142. So there's a lot of pips to go there. Look for sell setups. Euro New Zealand. Okay, this didn't go back up, but it consolidated, which is a sell setup. It did this, and that's a sell. Now expect some point this to happen. Right? We don't know how extended the running flat is going to be, but if it starts doing this, go for the buy. If it consolidates again like this, sell it. Right? If any consolidation would be a sell, but at some point you're going to get that pullback. Just have to wait for it. So let's go. What's the bigger picture? Well, let's get this one out of the way first, then we'll consider whether this is coming. Right? So at any point, look for pullback. But look for buy setups. If it consolidates a lot, you can sell. Euro-Swiss, this also didn't go. But this is still in this consolidation, right? So we're kind of still here, and I still think this one is going to happen at some point. So we'll start looking for that before we come back here and go back up. We just have to move them a little. I don't see any other way where this fits. I don't think, again, it all comes back to whether we're going to decide whether this is the running flat. If we decide on that is the running flat, then this might just go down without that. So if we see a consolidation here, we'll sell. Right? If that's a running flat and not this contracting flat, then any consolidation. This one is going down really slow. That's why I think it's more of belong to part of this. At this point, you'd wait to see what it does. I think you'd want to see a really good flat here now before we sell or buy. So right now, I don't see any trade set up. We'll wait and see how that goes. Euros. Euros is a sell. We have completed the pattern. You had another sell here. Wait for another flag sell. This is a sell, and this is going down, and it's completed the pattern, so it's all sells. Flag sell. I don't expect any bigger pullback anytime soon, not in the bigger structure even. Yeah, we don't expect this to pull back. This could just keep dropping. All right, we broke the top, and we're coming down. So there's no point for that to stop. It could break through all of this, right? We've completed that pattern. Let's take these out. We don't need them anymore. We don't need this anymore. We need this one. We broke the top, so we don't even need this. You can put it at this top now. We wanted this to go and break the top, which is what it did. Right, so you had this big correction here. We broke the top and we're coming down. So all you're going to wait for is when this makes big corrections and continue to go. Go back to the 1 hour. So the only part that we don't have that might still possibly come up would be this. Right, this is relatively sharp. So at some point, it could stop and start doing that because there's more correction in this than in this one. But as long as it's going, if the flag you get to take, right, every flag it makes, sell it until we get a reversal. Euro-CAD. Okay, so the question now with this is whether we're going to take this as the flat, this is the low, and that is upside. That's the only question. I think we should stay with that for now. We're expecting this to go down more. What's the big picture? Yep, it should drop. I think this would likely try to come here, break this low. That's most likely what we're looking for because this correction drop, this correction should drop. It's already dropping. That's a pretty sharp move. I don't think this is going back up as yet. Let's see what we have here. So the immediate trade, this one came back pretty low here, right? See that? But the immediate trade here looks more like a buy, right? It's not dropping with a flag. It's kind of coming down slow. So we don't have any trade set up there. We'll wait in the 15 minutes. And the closest trade you get here now looks more like a buy. Now, if this is the highest one, yeah, I think this is the top. So if that's a reversal, wait for this to make a flag. Not a small, wait something like this. So if you get something like this, we bought this because we had this flag here, right? And this one is going to go break this top. It did, it consolidated, it consolidated, went again. So what you wait is a consolidation here, and then we start selling. Let's see if we get it. We look for a sell setup. Can this be a flat of its own for upside? Let's say this. If you think that's a flat for upside. In that case, that flat is inside here and inside here. So even if it goes, it probably will do this and come back here. If we see this, we start buying. So you don't necessarily need to buy this one. But if that should go and pull back, now we would look at this as a running flat. We'll look for trades from here going up. Because the next move up is the equivalent of this. So this piece, don't ignore that. If it just makes a sudden spike. But if it consolidates here a lot, I mean something like this, you start looking for this sell setup. So we look for the sell setup. Euro-Swiss, Euro-Pound. Okay, Euro-Pound is coming down. It's probably going to get to the bottom here. And then you can look for a buy setup because this is a perfect flat. So let it come a little more here, and then you start looking for that buy setup. If it drops through the bottom, then let it go. It's not a good sell setup. So we ignore that. Euro-Yen, you're looking for sells. Right, this one didn't go higher. So it turns out not a contracting flat. Always remember contracting flats can become running flats. So if you sell anywhere here or anywhere here, you did well. Right, that's a big flat we're looking for. Bigger correction before it drops. So in the 5 minutes, let's see what would have been the trade. Actually, you could have used this one for the buy because you're expecting that move up, right? You're expecting one more up. So this would have been a good buy, even if you think it's making 1, 2, 3, and then come back. Right? The sell setup here again would be you'd probably go with this running flat. It's not a clear running flat though. This one is very sharp. So if this pulls back, go with this running flat and sell. If it doesn't pull back, it makes a flag, sell the flag. We'll put this running flat. I don't like that one. I prefer the one that would be more lower. So any flag here, you sell, any pullback, sell. I'd still look for the sell setup. I don't think we're trying to make a bigger flat here, which might be possible. So if it pulls back here and it starts consolidating, let's say it pulls back like this, you can put an entry order here with a stop here for this trade. But what if it goes here and start consolidating? Then make the assumption that we're making a 1, 2, 3 here, and this is a contracting flat. So you take that trade up. Only if you get a flag similar to this, right? Then you take that trade. And after the impulse, that is, the impulse should be the equivalent of the running flag. So you'd assume that one will drop. Franc and Franc and is going up. We broke the top once, but then they made this flat. So we can look for a buy setup here for one more impulse. Right, something like this. This one should have gone there, right? The same thing we do here. We wait for this, and then you go one more impulse to the upside. Because I think we can clearly put that as a running flat. Right, this is a clear running flat here. So wait for it to pull back first because you don't have the pullback as yet. You need this pullback. Wait for this to happen. Let it make this pullback. And then we put the entry order. If this climbs up a little more, all you do is move this up. So this entry order is not here as yet. Then you go to the buy. So it's going to be wait for a buy setup. Okay, guys. We're gonna just to keep the YouTube videos short. I think I did a lot, so we're gonna skip some of these. We're gonna do some of the indices and some of the Bitcoin for YouTube, and then we'll come back and do the rest. I don't want the YouTube video to be too long. For those who are on YouTube, if you want all the analysis, you can join us. Send me a Skype message, and you'll get access to all the analysis. So I'll tell you how to get it. Natural gas. Let's see where we are. Natural gas went up, nothing new. We anticipated this to be the flat. It's above now, right? So any consolidation here becomes a buy. It's actually going back up, right? It's moving up really strong. You can see that. We probably will break this top. So any flag you get there, go for the buy. Pretty much like this one. It's making a flag right now. Look for a buy setup. You saw it? By the way, if this should turn, I think if you guys don't mind, I'll spend a few seconds here because YouTube videos really get confused with this sometimes. I said we're looking for a buy setup, and then for some reason, this thing kind of come here and make a flag and drop and drop and drop. And they'll go, oh, look, he's got it all wrong. Well, just so you know, when it breaks the top, it can turn. I'm not expecting it to turn because we're expecting it to go to the top, so we look for buy setups. But that doesn't mean if it drops from there and make a flag here, we're not going to be selling it. Right? That's how wave analysis work. You go with the higher probability for the trade. Now you may say this is a flag to sell. Well, on the 15 minutes, yes, that's a flag to sell, but you're still in this consolidation. See the sharp wave? See this? See this? So you're still within this consolidation. So any sell here could just probably tag the low and go back up. And that is why this sell is a little dangerous. Right? It's not that you don't see a sell setup. So let it drop. If it's going to drop more, let it drop more, and then we would look for the sell. When we are cleared of that possibility, the sell would be a good one. Yes, sir. Okay, this is consolidating more, so we will get the drop now. You need one more drop. See, we need this to drop here. We're in this structure. So we need it to drop to the bottom here, which means you need this to come here. Put an entry here, go with a stop here, and see if you get a 1-to-1 trade. If you're lucky, it drops to the bottom. Remember, if this is a running flat, then it's going to go lower. We're assuming a channel and a running flat. Both of those are possible. And there's nothing that says it can go lower, right? This could go much lower, right? Because this was the deeper correction. Remember, that one never broke the top. So this was the big correction here. You got a drop, you got a small correction, and you're getting this. Now, the worst part that happened here is when it drops here, it goes back up like this for a running flat. After which it looks like it's a drop. So we'll see. Maybe it just drop all the way, and that's a correction. Big picture looks downside. Right? Looks downside. We don't have this one. So there's a lot of pieces. If it's consolidating here, there's a lot of pieces we don't have. We remember we had that sharp move, corrected but sharp, similar to this. And if you look at all of this in here, there's a high probability we'll probably put it like this. But then this should drop. This is the thing. So when you get that, you're thinking, well, if you're getting all of this inside of this one, at some point, you're in this range. At some point, it goes back up, right? So can this one just drop here and then go right back up like that? I think we've all seen that. So there are a number of ones we're looking for. We're looking for this and then this. So if it comes here first and then drop here and then go back up like that, that's okay. If this one goes up, that's okay too. Right? We'll just put this as a smaller one. So I don't think we'll go with a contracting flat, but that's a possibility. So there are like 3 possibilities of where this is going to go. So look for the possibility of it making one more drop and then the upside. Just one drop, breaks the slow, and then turn. So it's a sell setup. US 30. Okay, so they made the top and they're giving us a sell setup now. I'm assuming that this here is the running flat with this one because all the consolidation here, too much. This is a sharp move. If it consolidates here, we'll sell. Right, so come to the 5 minutes. You need to see a very good consolidation here. It's starting that consolidation. You've got 2 sharp waves. You're in the core correction here. You're kind of doing this, coming back here, going there, come back here, go back there. You get this, and then you look for the sell. So we're looking for a sell setup. You can put an active sell under the low if you want. It's an incomplete pattern. If you think the pattern is going to be smaller and incomplete, put an entry there, keep a stop here and go for the sell. In this structure, remember, we're expecting this thing to go back then at some point. Right, every time it makes, even if you go with this as the running flat, because we don't have anything for this. See that? So that's the problem. That's why we're pulling it like this, because there's a series of sharp pullback. Now this one is smaller, so you either put this one with this, and in that case, we need this one, right? Or you put this one with this, and in that case, we need this one, right? And then we go with a bigger one here. It doesn't make a difference which one you put it with. Right? You're either gonna have two, you're gonna have 2 flats, one inside or 2 separate ones. So we just put it as a channel for now. That's a good sell setup from the top there. You don't want to miss that. S&P 500. This is a different pattern. This looks corrective, so we're assuming that's corrective. So we're putting it for this one because this can be this one, so we're expecting the bigger one. But can we get this smaller one first? That's possible. It could make a small one. We're expecting this to go up some more first, let's see. Yeah, it didn't go. It actually broke, pull back. It would have closed the trade if you took the buy. It come here, go back, come. It stays there for a long time. You know, you shouldn't be in that trade. So take that off. And now you've got this. So we'll take this. This one is no longer valid. And you'll be going with this. So this looks upside. This here looks more upside than downside, right? Because you got this flat. Unless it consolidates here a lot. I wouldn't, this came back to the top, so I wouldn't be looking for any sell setup here. Let's just wait this out and see what it's doing. You don't really have any sell setup. We also don't have any buy setup as yet. Okay, this did what we wanted it to do. It came and it break the stop. See that? And then it started to drop. Any sell setup you took here is good. That's the top. Wait for another flag sell. We've got this flat here. It's making another one here. Go for the sell setup short term and see where that takes you. So the upside is over. Let's see. It could go more, right? We've got 1, 2, 3. This is the clearest pattern we have so far. This is like crystal clear. This is your impulse. You got an impulse. You got a correction in the middle here. You got another impulse, which is to give you this one, 1, 2, 3. So this should come back here. And that would be a clear flat. Right? Can it come back like this and go back up? And I'm not expecting that because this is, well, this is much sharper than this one. This is very corrective. So look for sell setups. Okay, so this is going to give you one more up, we're assuming. Let's go into 1 hour. It should give you one more up. If it's not going up one more, that's a slow impulse. And if it's a slow impulse, you wait for it to come out of the impulse, make a correction in here, don't go back to the top and then drop. So it could also be a sell, right? If you take this as a slow impulse going coming down, we discussed that, then you look for a see this. It doesn't have a clear sell setup, but just wait. Right? It could become a sell. Because the big picture is downside, right? We broke this top, we got to move up and move down. We broke the top, it could come back here. It's not dropping like this, right? But it could come back here and that could be a trade. So look for sell setups back here and then see if it goes back up. Okay, let's do some of these. Bitcoin. So magic works, right? If you were taking this trade on Friday, which I was giving you a small one, it's only to break the top. If you take this, it's only to break. When it breaks that top, expect it to come back. Now, it could have broken out. We discussed the possibility of it breaking out because you're in a bigger correction. That sell setup, if you took it great. If you didn't, then any flag here, you sell. Now, can this become a 1, 2, 3 and go back up? Yeah, it's still possible. You see how many times they pull back deeper and they go. So what you're going to do now is on the 4 hours, see where we are, right? We're at the top of a structure. So if it makes any consolidation here, that's a chance you're coming back here. So you're looking for that consolidation. See that consolidation there? See this consolidation here? If you get those consolidation, you're assuming it's coming back here. If it's going to go up, if this is going to go back up and break out, I wouldn't buy it inside the consolidation, the top here. There's no point doing that. Right? If you think this is a flat for upside, don't try to buy it inside here because all it needs to do is break the top and it can still drop. You need it to break out of the structure and then make a flag and go. So what if you think, well, what if it breaks out and it goes really fast? So I'm going to take out the top. The top is irrelevant. Put an entry order above there. If you think it's going to take off like a rocket, because it could, right? This here is all the consolidation. And if you think this one is going to do something like this, go to, I don't know, however much you want it to go. Then you put it above the last impulse because until then it can come back here. So right now you can look for both sides, most likely the sell setup. We'll see. Ethereum. I'm just going to do 3, 4 and then we'll go from there. So Ethereum is still climbing. It kind of didn't get to the top. So the question is, do we need to break that up? There's another flag forming here. Does it need to break that up? Let's see. Well, not specifically that it has to break it up, but it would be good if it breaks it up. If it break the top, it confirms this flat that we're thinking. If it doesn't break the top, then it's just making a much, much more complex pattern. And in that case, we don't really have any good trading here. XRP. Yep, this one did spike out. This buy, there was a buy setup here as well. It broke this top. So now when it break that top, this is where we're going to come back to it and said, where is this going? Well, there's more for it to go to. So this one is a little complex in what we think this low is, right? So you can assume, you can make an assumption that this was all the correction, right? This was 1, 2, 3, contracting flat. This was the low, and this is totally going up, right? That's the first option. But because it's a contracting flat, you will always make the assumption that it could also be a running flat, right? Which means that this could be 1, 2, could be parts of this or part of this, make it a 2, come back here for a 3. This is 1, and this one is going to go here and then come back. Right, so both of those are true. What you're going to look for is the buy setup to come and break these stops, which is what we're looking for, right? So we broke this stop. We haven't broken this one yet, or we probably break it already too. Any flag here, keep buying. You still have more to go. The reversal hasn't started yet. So if you're in the trade from here, you're doing well. You should have closed it. If you're long term, you would have put it to break even and leave it. If you're short term, you close and re-enter a number of times. On the 15 1 hour now for trades to the upside. Well, you need this to go up some more. You need this to go up here a little more. Pull back, make a flat, and then go. That's about it. Okay, let's do one more. I think this one, a lot of our traders trade this. This one here. It's coming down. Let's see where we are in the 4 hours. Okay, so that downside is either part of this for a long drawn running flat, or this is a contracting flat, and we're coming back down totally. There's absolutely no need to come back. Right? We already broke the low. So we don't really need to go lower. So this could just be a consolidation for more upside. Go back to the 1 hour. And this could just be a deeper consolidation here, right? This be just making a bigger flat. If you're going to sell it, make sure you get a really, really good flag. If you're going to buy it, wait for it to go back up, come back here, make this flat, and then go. That'll be the buy setup. So unless the sell setup should come first if it's making a flag. Okay, guys, I'll leave you with that. Again, for more information, if you want more to know how to join us or how to get access to these live sessions, send me a Skype message. It's at the very top. Thank you.